and welcome to my autumn book vlog. I would just quickly get into character for this intro. This crazy turkey hat is going to be accompanying me for the Thanksgiving turkey trot, so it's very on brand for the vibes. It is officially October, more so literally the end of October virtually, so pretty soon we're going to be getting into Christmas season. But before we go there, I thought I would do a little autumn book vlog. I have never done a book vlog on my channel before, and it seemed only fitting because I love to read. I was that kid who would spend endless hours at the library reading every possible chapter book ever, so it's only gotten worse as the time has gone on. But I'm so excited for this book haul because we're going to be doing lots of reading. I'm going to try out book annotating. We're going to go book shopping and we're going to talk about books, genres, do a book haul, the whole 9 yards, and just gearing up for some cozy fall reading vibes. I wanted to start off this video by talking about my favorite genres because every reader has some of those. So first and foremost, favorite genre of all time, it's always been this way, is none other than, drumroll please, historical fiction. My second favorite genre, what can I say? I'm just a girl. I love romance books. And a few other genres that I'm starting to kind of get into, fantasy and dystopian. I don't love every single fantasy dystopian novel, but like every person who's ever started reading dystopian novels, I started with The Hunger Games and I got super hooked, super excited about it. So I have been getting a little bit into that. And then also fantasy has been fun. Went down that whole rabbit hole with Percy Jackson. So I quickly pull off this turkey hat so we can get to reading. I thought I would start off this book vlog by finishing up a book that I started just this week. I've been reading bits and pieces of it every night before I go to bed, and it is a sequel to one of my favorite romance books. I think a lot of people would agree with me. I love the book better than the movies so much. Lynn Painter came out with her sequel to that book. Nothing like the movies. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition cover. Me and my friend went book shopping and we were like, we're not buying Nothing Like the Movies unless we get the orange cover, because no hate to the purple cover, but this one is just, she's gorgeous, okay? If you don't know, this is Wes and Liz's story, and it follows the timeline after they move to college and all the events that follow. As you can see by my little Barnes & Noble receipt bookmark here, I am a good chunk of the way through this book. I have a little bit left, just starting to ramp up here, so I thought I would start off this book vlog by finishing reading this. I love how this book has quotes from romance movies at the beginning of every chapter. I think that's super fun. As someone who's basically watched a very massive chunk of all the 2000s rom-coms, I can proudly say I know most of them. So without further ado, I'm going to start by reading this, getting cozy, and hopefully finishing it. I am on chapter 29. This book alternates from Wes and Liz's perspective. I kind of went into this thinking that it was only going to be from Wes's perspective, but I'm kind of happy that Liz's perspective is also in here because I kind of like the balance of both sides. And the quote at the start of this chapter is, "Last night should have been the biggest night of my life, and it wasn't. It wasn't because you weren't there. So I just wanted to tell you not to change your mind or keep you from going, but just so you know that I know that I do need you." From For the Love of the Game. I'm currently on page 291 and I have to get to 442. So I am over halfway for sure, as you can tell, but we got a chunk to read, so let's do it. I forgot I was at one of the craziest parts. my gosh. Oh man. And just like that, we have finished Nothing Like the Movies. I enjoyed this book, actually. It took me a little bit to like get into it. Initially I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this as much. It's pretty solid. I'd probably give it like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Better than the movies, still remains the best, but this was a pretty solid sequel, all things considered. I was like flying through the end. I'm not kidding. We finished Nothing Like the Movies. Alrighty, y'all. Today we are going to Barnes & Noble to do some book shopping because the book vlog simply would not be complete without doing a little bit of book shopping. It's just another excuse to go to one of my favorite stores. Here is my little book shopping outfit. This shirt I thrifted from Goodwill. So cute. My necklace is from Christmas. My hair is in a little high ponytail braid. This bag my aunt got me. It is so cute. It's from Montana West and the material is so nice. And I like that it's like more of a tote bag because then I can put my books in here after I've bought them. And then I'm wearing these straight leg jeans from American Eagle. And then these glittery silver leopard print platform Converse. So cute. Let's go. There's romance, and then there's also and there's the really romantic romance where there's actually real life human men on the cover. I must steer clear of that aisle. Barnes & Noble kids section brings back so many childhood memories, and I often find myself here finding like thicker chapter books just because I don't really like books with smut in them. It just feels like an invasion of privacy to me, just personal preference. But and a lot of those books out there for fall have smut in them, so I'm going to try and see if I can find one in the kids section. I feel like buying this for Christmas would be super cute. Look how pretty it is. There's some really sus people that are cussing it up over here. I'm sorry, but our cuss words the only vocabulary. I read this in 7th grade. So much nostalgia. That's so silly. Rest in peace. I found these and I think I'm gonna get them for my parents for Christmas. I am 100% a writer. I think this would be amazing. Y'all just need to see how cute this is. I got it on sale. This is 100% going in my car. Like, are you kidding? Right here. And the cutest part of this whole thing. First of all, this is epic. Second of all, there's a Dancing with Jesus book that comes inside. And it's so adorable. Like, look at this. We have the Temptation Tango. Best purchase of the day. Look at them go. Personal preference in the Chipotle Qdoba debacle is Qdoba because I love me some fruit guac. Alrighty, y'all, we're going to do a little book haul from Barnes & Noble the other day. Very excited to show you what I got. Firstly, I got a couple Christmas gifts for my parents. So if you're watching, skip to the timestamp on the screen. I found these from the book annex, and as someone who really loves to read stories, write stories, writing and reading in general, I thought this would be such a fulfilling gift. So we have a father's life and a mother's life, and basically your parents will write in here to the guided prompts about their lives, and it's just super sweet. And I think it'll be super sweet to read about later on. And then I kind of went crazy in the kids section. But before we get into that, I got a little free bookmark from Sally Rooney's new book that she had on display. So there are a bunch of free bookmarks, and I'm always looking for these because I feel like I just end up using random Barnes & Noble receipts as my bookmarks. So I have an actual legitimate one now, so that's kind of funny. This might seem a little bit random, but I decided to get this little book of the Constitution of the United States of America. It also has the Declaration of Independence in it. I personally love reading about this stuff and just political things, so I got this because I just kind of wanted to flip through it and read it and all the amendments and stuff, just so I can better educate myself. And then I've read this book multiple times, but I realized that I didn't actually own a copy of it, and I really wanted to because it's a very special book that's very near and dear to my heart, and it is Anne Frank's The Diary of a Young Girl. This book, oh my goodness, I like randomly stumbled upon it in one of the sections and was like, you're coming home with me. For me personally, I think World War II is a very interesting era to learn about, and then I got a couple other books. Firstly, we have The Breadwinner by Deborah Ellis. So basically the synopsis of this book is about a young girl who lives in Afghanistan under Taliban regime, and her father is arrested one day, so there's nobody to help earn money to just support her family. So she basically disguises herself as a boy to become a breadwinner and just help support her family. I love historical fiction, so I'm very excited to read that. And then I really wanted to get a fall book, so I got Enola Holmes, The Case of the Missing Marquess. I am very excited to read this. It's set in London. Since it is a mystery, I think it'll be really good to read during the fall time. So that's my little book haul. Very, very excited to read these. Moving on to the next segment of this book vlog, I have none other than my TBR, my to be read list, if you will. I keep this in my phone so that I can quickly jot it down anytime I'm in a bookstore, but I also have it on this sheet of paper. I have a lot of reading to do, and some of these books I do want to read during like specific points in time. I'll explain that when I get to them. This is just an idea of what I currently want to read. Number one, I saw this in Barnes & Noble, and if you know anything about me, you know I love New York City so much. I went there back-to-back Christmases when I was little, and it is just one of the most magical memories I have as a child, and I really loved this one book I found at Barnes & Noble called Summer Fridays by Suzanne Rindell. Also just wanted to quickly preface this video by saying if I butcher anyone's name or any title, disregard. Sincere apologies. Anyways, Summer Fridays by Suzanne Rindell. It's like a New York City set book in like the 1990s. I think I'm gonna really like this one. So that's number 1 on my list right now. Okay, the second book on my list I want to read is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I love Better Than the Movies so much, and I hear The Do-Over is really good, and specifically I want to get the Barnes & Noble exclusive copy because there's a really pretty page design. I don't know how to explain it, but there's like hearts all over it. It's super cute. I want to specifically read this during Valentine's Day because the story's set during Valentine's Day. Third on my list is the Throne of Glass series by none other than Sarah J. Maas. I was in Barnes & Noble a couple weeks ago and I was book shopping with my friend, and the sweetest lady, she was there shopping for books for her great-grandchildren. Bless her heart, she was so kind, was giving me a bunch of book recs, and she told me that she really recommended Throne of Glass series. I've been kind of getting into fantasy, so I think that would be super fun. I love you, and I hope we cross paths again because you were so kind. Anyways, I hear everyone talking about this lately, and they all keep giving it like 5 stars. It's The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. It seems super cute, super whimsical, super fun, and just super heartwarming. So I would love to read that. I don't know when I'm gonna do it or when I'm gonna pick it up, but everyone loves it, so I want to read it. Okay, and then it's by Hisashi Kashiwai. I'm really sorry if I butchered that. He's a Japanese author, and then the books are Before the Coffee Gets Cold and The Restaurant of Lost Recipes. I read the synopsis at the bookstore and I felt pretty intrigued about it. I think it'd be so cool to read it, especially since it's translated from Japanese to English. I think that's super cool, so I want to read that. And then I love Emily Henry books so much. I love her writing. Her romance books are just so good. People We Meet on Vacation is one of my favorite romance books. She came out with Funny Story a bit ago. I haven't read it yet, and I really want to because I know I'm gonna enjoy it because I want to get Funny Story eventually. I don't know when I'm gonna do that, but I will. Trust. When I went book shopping the other day, I saw A Christmas Carol and Other Christmas Tales, like this really beautiful Christmas book in Barnes & Noble. It's like an exclusive thing. Really want to get that for Christmas. And then the book 100 Saturdays by Michael Frank. The story is about a Jewish town before the Holocaust, actually. So just kind of talking about like friendship, love, just the times. It's like a prequel. Anyways, I think that will be a very interesting read. I love historical books. This book doesn't come out for a little while, but I love The Hunger Games. It's like the dystopian novels that got me into dystopian novels, okay? Who could be a hater? I love The Hunger Games, and Sunrise on the Reaping is coming out, and I hate to be like the Capitol, but I am really elated to read this book. I can't wait for the movie, can't wait. I just know that Suzanne Collins is gonna write something amazing, and I'm excited. What can I say? Sue me. After that, I have 2 more, I promise. I'm flying through this. Not really, I'm trying to. I have Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters, which is the 2nd book by Rick Riordan. I read the first one before the TV series came out. Love the TV series, love the book, great. But I want to read the 2nd one before the 2nd season comes out. Finally, final book, I have A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. Another historical book. It's like part biography, part not. It's like, I don't know how to explain, but I have a feeling I'm going to love it. That's my TBR. I need to stop yapping now, but I have a lot of books I want to read. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of reading the next few months and beyond. Alrighty, to end off this book vlog, I thought we could do a little bit of book annotating with none other than my favorite book of all time. Will always remain this way. Drum roll, please. The Bible. Welcome back to Dissect the Text with your host, God's Word, and sidekick, Bella Shaw. This is the perfect book to do some annotating in. I love highlighting and just deeply understanding and studying the Word. If you didn't already know, I'm a Christian, but more specifically a follower of Jesus, and I thought today I could just share a little slice of faith with you all. This book is my favorite for a number of reasons, and it always will be, but specifically, I think the stories in here are so captivating and interesting, and it truly just shows me the heart of the Lord and sort of is like almost a guide for my life. So it's super special to me. This Bible is the True Images NIV Bible, and my aunt gave it to me for Christmas a few years back, and I have put some nice little Bible tabs in here so I can seamlessly find all the books in the Bible. I have not memorized all of them yet. It's one of my goals. I will get there eventually, but this is such a beautiful Bible, and very excited to do some annotation and studying of it with y'all. This segment of the book vlog is about to be so much fun. I'm so excited. At my youth group, we're currently reading and going through the book of John, and every week I am reading along with each chapter that we're learning about. So I thought that I would read the book of John today because it's been very relevant and present in my life, and I just want to understand it more. All right, done studying. I quickly just wanted to talk about this segment in John 15. I've been trying to really articulate and focus on just specific chapters so I can fully immerse myself and understand the text. So I only went from John 15:1 to John 15:17. Y'all, this chapter is loaded, okay? I titled my Bible study with the words "remain in him" because the word "remain in me" is noted in John 15 4 times, and to remain means to abide or dwell, not as like a one-time occurrence, but like ongoing and continuously. And some ideas I gathered from this chapter was that Jesus is calling us to dwell and continue in him, and for his word to continue to dwell in us. And this is intertwined because you cannot dwell in Christ apart from his word, and you cannot truly dwell in his word and remain apart from Christ. Whoa! Some notable verses from this chapter are "remain in me as I also remain in you," John 15:4a, and then "I am the vine, you are the branches." Y'all, like I said, loaded chapter. But anyways, I think what Jesus is trying to convey by the words "I am the vine, you are the branches," it's sort of a sense of imagery in a way. So Jesus is the vine, he's the true source of life for us as believers, and we are the branches, which are connected to him, the vine, and we draw that life from him because he's the true source of life. This is all intertwined. So going back to the branches thing, it notes that he cuts off the branches that bear no fruit in our lives and prunes the branches that bear fruit so that they may become more fruitful. Y'all, he really cares about us. It's so wonderful. And then another notable verse is "remain in his love." Dwell in it, accept it, feel it, all the things. Remain, abide in his love for you. Okay, second part. I am by no means an expert, just someone who loves Jesus and wants to share a slice of her faith with you. But the second part, the first verse, "My command is this, love each other as I have loved you," John 15:12. So that's his commandment to us. I feel like that verse honestly speaks for itself because that is like the first and last verse in this little blip of the chapter. So the first one is "My command is this, love each other as I have loved you," and then the last sentence in that little portion is "This is my command, to love each other." So if someone's repeating something, it's probably pretty important. And then the verse that follows, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends," which Jesus responds by saying that we are not his servants, but rather his friends. He has called us his friends, and he has made it known to us. Mic dropped. I love this chapter. It is loaded with so much truth, and I love the beautiful imagery of the vine and the branches, and just the reminder that we need to remain in him and his love and to love others. Anyways, thank you so much for coming to my book annotating. What better than to do this with my Bible? Yay!